All right, let's get right into it. When you look at the crossroads of massive global stardom, a super high-profile romance, and just frankly a brilliant marketing machine, you find Zendaya. We're gonna break down her playbook because it's really a masterclass in how to handle fame right now, and it all kicks off with a story that sent the internet into an absolute frenzy. This was the headline that basically shattered the internet. The one thing everyone was speculating about was suddenly confirmed. But the story of how this really private moment became this huge global spectacle, well, that's where this whole thing gets fascinating. You know, the news didn't just leak out, it absolutely exploded. Every little detail, from how he proposed to the ring itself, suddenly became public property. It created this total media firestorm, which is exactly what the two of them have been trying so hard to avoid for years. I mean, look at this timeline. It's this wild mix of old school tradition and just modern celebrity chaos. So months before, you've got Tom Holland doing the respectful thing, asking her dad for his blessing, then a private proposal. But of course, that privacy just couldn't hold. The second that ring showed up at the Golden Globes, that was the spark. And when Tom's dad confirmed it, that was just pouring gasoline on the fire. And naturally, the public wanted every single detail. This number, that's the estimated value of the ring, a solitaire cushion-cut diamond. Suddenly, every single piece of their private commitment was being picked apart, priced out, and turned into content. It just perfectly shows the kind of intense pressure they were under. So just as all this real-life drama is hitting its absolute peak, her professional life comes along and serves up this almost unbelievable coincidence. It's a classic case of life and art getting way too close. And you gotta admit, a golden opportunity for some very clever marketing. So get this, she's starring opposite Robert Pattinson in this new black comedy from Christopher Borgli. He's the guy who did Dream Scenario. And the premise? A couple's relationship just completely implodes just days before their wedding. The timing was, well, for the studio, it was almost too perfect, wasn't it? And this just lays it all out so perfectly. On one side, you have the actual real deal love story. And on the other, you have A24's team just grabbing this cultural moment by the horns. They even put a fake engagement announcement in a real newspaper to promote the movie. Her real life and her movie life started mirroring each other, and it just blurred all the lines for everyone watching. So, okay, with all of this noise, some of it real, some of it totally manufactured, how does she stay grounded? This is the pivot. We're moving away from the outside spectacle and into her internal philosophy. This, right here, is the core of the Zendaya playbook, knowing exactly where you need to draw the line. This quote is everything. It's her mission statement. See, it's not about hiding her life, it's about protecting it. It's a very deliberate choice to build a space that's just for her and the people she loves, completely away from the spotlight. So this isn't a reaction to the engagement news. It's a principle she's had for a long time. And she is definitely not alone in this. Tom Holland is right there with her 100%. Like he says, their relationship is something they're incredibly protective of. It's our thing. This isn't just one person's preference, it's a totally united front, a shared promise to protect their peace. But you know, how does a big idea like that actually work in real life? How do you decide who to trust when you're in a world where pretty much everyone wants something from you? Well, she has a very simple but really effective little system. It's a two-part litmus test for figuring out someone's character. First up, the crew test. How do you treat the people on set who aren't the big stars or the directors? She says what the crew thinks of you is so telling because they're the ones who see who you really are. And then there's the dog test. It's that simple. How do you act around animals? It might sound a little silly or simplistic, but for her, this is an absolute non-negotiable. It's just a fundamental sign of a person's ability to show empathy and kindness. And those are values she clearly holds very high. And look, she's not super rigid about it. She gets that people are complicated, that we all make mistakes, but her playbook is based in a simple reality. Yeah, there are cultural differences and nuances, but some things are just plain rude or mean. And those are the red flags she's watching out for. So, what does this all add up to? When you put together the media craziness, the meta-marketing of her movies, and this fierce personal code she lives by, you get something new. This is about more than just one star. It's a potential shift in how we even define fame. It's about building a new kind of legacy. We're calling it curated authenticity. And no, that doesn't mean being fake. It's about being your true, authentic self in the public spaces you choose to be in, while you intentionally and strategically protect the parts of your life that aren't for sale. It's an active way to handle stardom, not a passive one. And you can hear it right from her. Talking in Interview magazine, she said she's actively learning how to find that balance. She gets that some things are meant to be just for you, just for the people you love. This is the blueprint for a new kind of fame, one that doesn't force you to sell your soul just to be successful. And all of this leaves us with one last big question. In this age of oversharing, where fame seems to require you to give up everything, is the most powerful, the most radical thing a celebrity can do simply deciding which parts of themselves they refuse to give away? The Zendaya playbook seems to suggest the answer is a definite yes.
Thanks for watching Media GenX. If you liked this story, show some love with a like, subscribe for future updates, and share it around. Until the next headline.